So Scott, we talk a lot about the strategy side of it and the delivery side of it. I think it would be remiss of us not to get a little bit deeper into the technology. I mean, it's your baby, it's your vision. How does iasset.com actually work? What am I buying?
So you're buying an automation play, largely. So if you talk about the LIPS strategy, to underpin that, in your land section, you need to automate quoting as much as physically possible. If you're a channel partner, for example, you ingest quotes from upstream providers, flip them into your quote with your margins, your currencies, whatever it is, and options, and then push it out the door.
How do you do that?
Well, so very simple. We literally suck up the quote out of Excel or CSV. The engine or the platform understands the part numbers, the descriptions and the pricing and whatever the partner programs are if you've put that into the system. And then you literally add margin. And so you can say, well, vendor X is 10% margin. You tell the platform when it sucks up vendor X, add 10%, you've now got a quote done. You can automate the freight if you want to go that far, and then you can push a quote out, rather than you literally sitting there typing in or copying and pasting or whatever it is, and then doing all the manual calculations, etc. So in its most basic form, you can create that. You can also do versioning, you can do options, which won't impact your forecast. There's an opportunity wrapper so that you might have multiple reps selling to the same account. We only have one opportunity so that your forecasting doesn't get blown out by multiple quotes. And again, you can do it in different currencies, even on the same quote, multi-manufacturer, you name it. Then you go to the invest stage. So the invest stage is you've received acknowledgement from the ERP system, and I'll talk about interconnected systems in a minute. And so you start the life cycle piece. Now, the first part might be find me product Y and I want to add product Z, so 2 different manufacturers, or it could be a module for the products that are out there, find me all those. You can do and, if, or not for geography, product type, reseller, whatever it is, if you're a distributor, or customer if you're a reseller. And then you go to protect. So protect is all about, most people are very, very focused on renewals conversations. A long time ago, we decided that that's not actually the appropriate conversation, because you may not want to renew them. You may want to take a different action. And the different action could be different type of product, different number of years, move them from perpetual to cloud. There's a whole lot of decisions that might be made before you get to that stage. Now, sure, there's a bucket load of long tail, what we call high frequency, low value renewals, which you don't want to touch. You want to fully automate that, and the platform can do that for you. And you can set the platform at a limit and say, well, anything under $10,000, I don't want a sales rep to touch because we won't make any money out of it, and automate that entire process. And then pass, the medium-sized deals to your inside salespeople and the high-end deals to your direct touch. And then you get to surrender. Now, no one in the business, and I've spoken to a lot of people in the last 14 years, no one in the business handles end of life appropriately. Manufacturers typically put up a website, they list all the products that are gone end of life, and they think their job is done because they've broadcast it. But actually, the distributors don't ingest the information. They don't tell the resellers don't tell their own customers. So you can end up with banks that have been exposed with security products that are actually out of date. Less so these days, but it has happened. Underlying all of that LIP strategy are those processes that need to go in. And then, because you can't run data in isolation, and that's a huge problem in all sorts of industries, you need to talk to everything. To that point, iasset would normally sit inside the middle of an operation. We'll talk to ERP systems, because ERP don't carry a lot of POS data. Some don't even carry serial numbers or contract detail. So you take whatever information you can from ERP about the financial transaction. You might talk to a CRM system if you're handling opportunities through, such as a salesforce.com platform. So you communicate with it, and then you communicate with a support desk type operation like ServiceNow or Manage Engine or any of those. And where we'd connect with those ones is you'd have sale was made, we'd tell ERP the detail if we're the master of that transaction. We'd then tell the support desk system what we've sold, so that all of the serial number information, contract details are populated automatically inside that database from a support point of view. We'd expect in return that if a serial number changed or something changed at a customer site, that it would update us, so that when your renewal or protect phase comes around, you've got up-to-date information, rather than, oh, this serial number doesn't exist anymore. And then finally, probably one of the biggest opportunities is where a lot of manufacturers have dial home systems, so storage arrays. The manufacturer knows typically when a storage array is going to run out of storage based on the analytics of how the customer is consuming it. So it makes a huge amount of sense to connect us to those dial home systems, because it can trigger iasset to actually get a channel partner, or if it's a channel partner running it, receive it from the manufacturer, to go out and actually with the next array before the customers even realise that they're going to run out of storage. And it could, there's a whole bunch of other things. There's phone systems and all sorts of things that you can do it with. But really, you can't run your data in isolation anymore. And anyone that is running in isolation, or customers, quite often customers or prospects come to us and say, we really want to run iasset.com, but we're not going to connect it to anything. I say, we really don't want to sell it to you, because you will not keep up with the data flows that are going on in today's world.
Because they don't want to connect anything to their network. The IT guys are saying that, but they're not realising that they're actually taking away.
Well, there's challenges. Well, there's multiple challenges. If you're a smaller reseller, sometimes they don't have the ability to present the API if they've got a bigger system. If they're running smaller things like Xero, which are more popular these days, that's okay. We've already got the pipes into those, so it's just a matter of turning it on for them. But really, you've got to mash all of that data together. And what iasset will do is will become a massive single source of truth, because all of the data sets that are coming from manufacturers, distributors, resellers, ERP, maintenance type desks, cloud consumption, billing files, all these dial home systems are all sitting there in the one record, so that when you do your invest or you protect or you surrender, you are doing something intelligent with all of the information presented to you, not just a siloed piece.